Hi friends. Took a second. It kind of glitched there for a second. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go live or not, but I'm here and I hope you are here too. Welcome to Dress It Up, you guys. This is the wonderful world of embellishments, and that is not a exaggeration. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Like, Dress It Up is a world full of creativity and inspiration, and there is just so much good stuff to choose from. So hi to everybody. Welcome. Hey, Miss Stacia, how are you this morning? Hey, Maggie. Oh, so it is morning to me, even though it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So afternoon to those of us on the East Coast, but I'm still very much feeling like I need an extra cup of coffee. So morning it is. So today we have a project that is featuring some really cool Dress It Up buttons, and I feel like this is a project that is going to hit home for a lot of people right now, because I feel like a lot of us are all in the same boat. And what I'm talking about is back to school. So some of you who follow me on a regular basis or who are friends with me on Facebook, just as a Facebook friend, know that I have two school-aged, I have a college-age kid as well, but he doesn't count. I have two school-aged kiddos, one in high school and one in elementary school, and we just started online school. Because of the pandemic, we had the choice as to whether to send our kids to school or to keep them home, and so we have decided to keep them home. However, I have tons of friends who do have kids in school physically, and school looks a lot different this year. A lot different. Whether you're doing online school or you're doing in-person schooling, it looks a lot different, and I feel like today's project is a good one, not just because it's a back-to-school project, but because this is a teacher gift. And so if you've got kids in school or if you've got grandkids in school, you might want to consider putting together a little something for your teachers in your life, whether those teachers are moms that are pulling double duty or if they really are, the teachers that are in the school. Because not only are these teachers teaching our kids regularly, but they're also kind of doing double duty, just like the moms that are double dutying school. They are also doing an added online version of their classes, and guys, they are so underappreciated. So I feel like today's project is a great one to just kind of give a little thanks to the teachers that are in your life, because they really are working hard under some very strange circumstances. So I know there are a lot of teachers in my family, and I know that the struggle is real. So just showing them a little bit of appreciation, I think, goes a really long way. So that's what today's project is all about. We're going to create some teacher gifts. And I say gifts because I have two in mind. There's one that is actually already part of the Dress It Up YouTube channel. It is a project that exists there that you can see, but I thought we would kind of revisit it at the end of today's project for two reasons. You guys know the saying, man plans and God laughs. That's kind of how my day is going today. And that is definitely part of my project today. So I had this great plan for our project, and then when I went to execute, it did not work out. And so we're only doing part of the project that was actually scheduled. I am going to talk through the part of it that didn't work out because I know you guys will be able to pull it off. All right. Angie says, is it a unisex gift? My son has a male teacher that's been so patient. Yes, this is going to work for any teacher. And the second part of this, I actually decided that it would be really cool to recognize the school nurses because they have a really weird job this year as well. So this doesn't have to just be for a teacher. This could be for a tutor. This could be for a school nurse who is like checking all those temperatures on every single kid that comes in the building. That's a huge job all in itself. So we're featuring two different Dress It Up buttons today. We're going to be using Pencil Box for our main project, and then we're going to be talking about Doc McStuffins. Some of you know who Doc McStuffins is, some of you will not, but she is a Disney character, and those are her little Disney friends, and she runs a little clinic for stuffed animals. And so I thought this would be cute to add to our little project. However, any Dress It Up buttons are going to work. You don't have to just use the school themed buttons for this, right? If you've got a teacher that's an art teacher, maybe you want some art buttons. If you've got a teacher that's a math teacher, but you don't want to do teacher type buttons, maybe you want to, you reflect something hobby that they have, right? Sorry, words are hard. Maybe they like to camp, or maybe they like to, I don't know, maybe they like to sew. Whatever their hobby is or whatever speaks to them, there's going to be a Dress It Up button that is ready to go and will reflect the personality of the teacher or whoever it is that you're making this special little gift for. So, all right, one of the things that we definitely are going to be using is Scrabble tiles. I know you guys have seen me use a lot of Scrabble tiles in my projects, and that's because they are so readily available. Guys, if you get online, like if you look on Amazon, you can buy just Scrabble tiles. Lots of craft stores have just Scrabble tiles, or you can do like I did, and I went to a thrift store and picked up like 5 Scrabble boxes that were missing tiles or missing parts, and the only reason I wanted them was for the Scrabble tiles. So you could do this with wooden letters as well, but I like the Scrabble tiles. They're cute. So that's what we're going to use. All right, let's get down to it. Let's look at the projects. Oh, Wanda likes my necklace. Why, thank you. This is a Jessie James bead strand from our summer camp experience. All right, let's get down to it, guys. Enough chit chat. Oh, whoops, I messed up. Sorry. Hit the wrong button there for a second. All right, so I've got my hot glue on hand. You guys know I do everything with the hot glue, but you definitely can do this with craft glue as well. Okay, so the pencil box buttons, these are super, super cute. I'm just going to tear into this package. Not taking it easy on the packaging today, just getting right down to it. Okay, so we've got a little school bus. We have a little calculator. We've got an apple. We've got a couple of little pencils. I love these. These are so darn cute. And then there's a little pencil sharpener. We've got a ruler and a piece of notebook paper. So these are perfect. Absolutely perfect. Angie says hot glue is great if you're impatient. Yes, I totally am. Wanda says, look at the little calculator. I know, right? Are they not adorable? So stinking cute. So unfortunately, I only have 1 package of these. I wish that I had 2 because I feel like this little project could definitely use some more buttons in it. And so I'm kind of sad about that, but we're going to use every single one of these for our project. And what else do you need? You're going to need a frame. I've got about a 4x6 here. I've taken the glass out of it, but I did save this hard piece with the little kickstand on it. Okay, we are going to Wanda says an 11-inch, you know what, 1 2 3 4, it looks like a 6-inch ruler. We're going to cover this in some fabric. I grabbed a fat square over at Walmart over in the craft department for like 97 cents. So if you've got scrap fabric on hand, that's going to be perfect. You really can cover this with whatever you want to. You could even cover this with paper. It does not have to be fabric. Robin says, is there a package of buttons with a computer in it? I do not know. That's going to be a question for our what shall we call her today? Danielle is here with us today, and she is posting as Dress It Up. So Danielle might be able to punch that in and see for you. I'm not sure, but I think there probably was at one point. I mean, there's literally a button for everything. So I don't know the answer to that, but Danielle could probably answer that for you. All right, so save this part. We definitely want this. We don't need the glass or anything like that. And in the original project, you guys, I was actually going to make a wreath and put this in the center of the wreath. So what I did extra have on hand, and if you want to do that part of it, you can definitely do that. I had 2 boxes of 24 crayons. Okay, so I had 48 crayons. Make sure they're brand new crayons, not used ones. They don't look nearly as good. And my original plan, now I know since we're not actually executing this part that it might not be worth it for me to tell you about it, but I feel like you guys will have a better idea for this. So I had 2 embroidery hoops here, and my plan was I was going to cover the embroidery hoops with some ribbon, And then I was going to take my crayons, right? And I was going to hot glue the crayons to both of these, right? Okay, sounds like a great idea in theory. And I'm sure that if I had the patience to make this work, it would, right? Go all the way around and fill in with your crayons. Wow, I picked up the most like blue-gray colors ever out of that box. That's so funny. But once I started working on this, I realized that this probably wasn't the best base, right? Yes, you can create a wreath with your crayons. However, I feel like a better base for this, instead of trying to wrangle these two embroidery hoops that are not connected to each other together, would probably be to use a thick piece of cardboard and just cut it into a wreath shape. Or you could use a regular wreath, those the ones that are made out of foam, and you could cover it in something. Wanda said, did the crayons melt? They did not melt. As a matter of fact, if you leave the wrapper on the crayons, you can absolutely hot glue these down. And you can do this with the craft glue as well, if you've got patience for that. But my biggest issue was, as I was creating this and trying to glue down my crayons, because these two pieces are independent of each other and I didn't take the time to attach them to each other because I didn't think that it was necessary, this one on the inside was really wibbly wobbly and going all over the place, and so my crayons were not lining up correctly and it just became a hot mess. So as far as our project is concerned for the day, we're going to skip this part. However, I do encourage that you try this out as the base, because if you can just imagine for a second, okay, that you have the cutest little wreath made out of crayons or colored pencils or whatever you want to use, right? And it's a little bit larger. This one is a little on the small side just for showing you guys. And then take your frame with our inner parts that we're going to create, and then glue this down or attach this to the top part of your wreath. It's really, really cute, right? Wibbly wobbly. Add that to the Sarah Ellis dictionary. Yes, please do. So I'm not saying that you can't do this. I'm just saying that embroidery hoops did not work out for me. So there's got to be a better base, right? So I'm sad because I wanted to do this full-blown, really cool project. But, you know, it's like I said at the beginning, man plans and God laughs, and that is definitely just not happening for us today. So I hope that you guys will have some better luck executing an actual wreath. I am just, I don't know. It's just one of those days for me. So, all right. So I've got my 4x6 frame here. I've taken everything out of it. I'm going to sit this to the side for just a second, and I'm going to bring in this back piece that has our little kickstand on it. Okay. Now I'm going to cover mine in some fabric, and you absolutely do not have to use fabric for this. You can use whatever you want to. I just have little scraps of fabric here, and you can see the cutting on this is not perfect. That's fine, because we're going to glue all of the back to the back of the frame. You can clean this up. Clearly, I do not cut well with fabric. I'm just not really a sewer, or you guys know, like, fabric projects are usually not my forte. So when it comes to cutting straight lines, clearly I cannot. So please make yours a lot cleaner than mine. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little tiny bit of hot glue, and just on the edges here, up here where it's probably going to be inside that frame where you're not going to see it, I'm going to put some hot glue up here. This is the only place on the front of this piece where I'm going to put hot glue, because hot glue and fabric tend to not play very well together. Okay, but I do want to just kind of secure my edges on the front. And then we are going to flip this over. Hey, Sheesh, how are you, my friend? Okay, so there's our fabric. Now, like I said, you can use paper for this. You can use whatever you want to. Wrapping paper would be really cool as well and super easy to work with. So never discredit wrapping paper and the amazing things that you can do with it. Wrapping paper is your friend. Okay, so now I want to glue all of this to the back. And again, this is where if you are going to give this as a gift, you definitely want to clean this up a little bit more than what I have for sure. Even though the back is not really going to show, particularly if you're going to attach this to a wreath, but just for the sake of giving a gift, I definitely would, you know, work on having some cleaner cut lines here. I am going to cut right here on the corners though, right? So that I can fold over really easily and glue down, okay? I'm going to do that on both sides. I am just going to trim this down just a little bit though. So fabric remnants will work, fat squares, that's what I grabbed just because they are inexpensive. And the frame itself, I think, was around $1. So this is an inexpensive gift, but you know, it's definitely one that is from the heart. You can get your kids involved with this one, particularly if it's their favorite teacher ever and they really want to make it special. Definitely let them have some input into, you know, what goes into this. All right, so now I'm going to glue down the edge of my fabric here. Yes, there are crayon Dress It Up. Guys, seriously, there's a dressed up button for everything. Like that's not a joke. When I say that, that is 100% accurate. Like it's amazing to me all of the things that you can get in button form from Dress It Up. So if you've not had the opportunity to check out dressitupshop.com, please do that and check out all of the amazing buttons that are available. You'll be blown away. Like there are sew-on buttons, there are shank style buttons, which is what we're using today. And they can be used in so many different ways. All right, so gluing down my fabric here. Just along the edges. She says, heard it through the grapevine, crafting. We've definitely got some crafting going on here. And all this extra hardware, the little hang thing, this little tab right here for hanging, you definitely can remove that. Probably should have. But like I said, it's just been kind of one of those days for me today. So I'm surprised that anything is working out today. You just have those days sometimes, you know. Today is definitely one of those for me. So, all right, let's glue down the other side here. And just want to be careful with the little stand part here. We don't want to accidentally glue it down or anything like that, because we definitely need that part unless you're going to attach this to a wreath. And if you're going to do that, then you definitely don't need that part. You can take it off. All right, so gluing down all the fabric edges, right? Let's flip this over and see what it looks like here. Just get everything out of the way. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm a fan of the fabric. I just feel like it's a little different. I feel like we use a lot of paper, so fabric is fun. Hey, Kathleen. Kathleen is supervising her online kiddos today. All right, so now we've got our piece that is covered, and we just want to double check to make sure that it's still going to fit into our frame. And actually, let's just go ahead and put it into the frame. That way we don't accidentally glue anything on the parts that are going to be covered. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in to the frame and flip it over. All right, so now there are a couple of different things you can do with this. And Wanda says the Disney Dress It Up buttons did some serious damage to my credit card. Right, they're so awesome though. Like you just can't help yourself. All right, so there are a couple of different things that you can do with this. I have decided that for the one that we are going to be creating, we are going to put our teacher's name with our Scrabble tiles onto the surface of this, okay? And we're gonna glue directly to our piece of fabric here. So we're gonna make one for Mrs. Klein. And now keep in mind, if your teacher's got a really long name, you might need a bigger frame for this. So 4x6 is probably not going to work for everybody, but it definitely works in my situation here, okay? All right, so the plan is we're going to glue down these letters, and then we are going to use our awesome pencil box Dress It Up buttons to kind of decorate around this, right? And then Miss Klein can put this on her desk, or she can hang it on her wall, right, as her like little nameplate. What was I going to say? Oh, sorry. So you can center this up and put her name in the middle if you want to, or you can move this all up here to the top if you want, and you can add clips, like 3 of those paper, they're not paper clips, but they're the squeezable clips, you know, so that you can hang memos from this. So you can make this a double duty gift if you want to, so that she can actually hang this on the wall, or he can hang this on the wall, and then they can clip, you know, important papers or whatever they need to it, or they could, you could put hooks and they could hang lanyards from it. You've got a lot of surface area here to work with. So definitely kind of think outside the box. What are some things that would be helpful for this teacher if you had hooks along the bottom that they could hang things from, or anything like that? Maybe this is where they hang their bathroom passes, right? Or their hall passes. So keep all of that in mind, because this can really kind of become, you know, a project that you can definitely, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? Gosh, I'm just having one of those days, you guys. It's a project that you definitely can personalize. Thank you. That's what I was looking for your teacher or whoever it is that you're making this for. All right. So we're going to go ahead and glue down, and if you are one of those people who needs to use a ruler, then please do that. I am not. I'm a messy crafter. I fall into that category, and I am very proud of that. But it does tend to make my any kind of homemade craft that you get from me, you definitely know that it is handmade, because I'm not one for measuring in numbers. You guys know that about my jewelry making as well, so there's probably no surprise there. All right, so we're just going to glue down our Scrabble tiles here. And like I said at the beginning, you don't have to use Scrabble tiles for this, right? You can use wooden letters for this. You could use a wooden backing for this, and you could paint on here. You could use your Cricut and you know, just make a vinyl transfer if you wanted to. Like, this is just an idea for you to kind of take and run with it. And so I hope I'm inspiring you to think of, you know, fun ways that you can personalize this for your teacher. You can always come back in, if you're using hot glue, you can always come back in and clean up the little wispies from the hot glue later. I tend to leave mine until the very end and then clean them all up at once instead of kind of getting them as I go. All right, so you want to let that dry. If you're using craft glue, definitely give this some time to set up before you do anything else to this. But we are going to go ahead and add our Dress It Up to this, because we're using hot glue. We don't have to have a lot of patience today. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and cut all of the shanks off of the back of these buttons before we start putting them down, just so that I can kind of put them out where I want them to be before we glue them. So as far as the shanks on the back of the buttons, I'm just using a cutter tool. You can use a really sharp pair of scissors for this. The large nail clippers, they work as well. And you just want to trim off the shank so that now you have a nice flat back surface to work with. And we're going to use all of ours, so we're going to go ahead and cut them all off, even our little school bus. Now the one button out of this that is not a shank style button is our ruler, and it is a sew on button, so it has 2 holes through it, so we don't have to do anything to it. This guy right here, he's ready to go. Okay, so now I just want to figure out how I want to arrange my little Dress It Up and figure out where I want, if I want these on the outer frame or if I want them all in the inside. And you can really get creative with this. You can also add to this, if you want to, some bows or some extra decorative elements. Like I said, I'm just kind of starting out with like the base design for something, and you really can, you can personalize this however you want to, right? It can be whatever you want it to be. I think that's cute. I don't know about the buttons on the outside edges though. I don't know if I want to. It's my favorite part of playing with Dress It Up, is like trying to figure out like where you want everything, how you want everything to be. I think that looks really cute. So I'm just going to add some hot glue to the back of these and just glue these down exactly where I have placed them. Right? Super easy. This is not a craft that takes a lot of material. It also does not take a lot of time. And I am all about instant gratification when it comes to crafting and jewelry making. So this is definitely like right up my alley, because I know that I'm going to have something super cute and personalized with my Dress It Up buttons. And I didn't break the bank, and I didn't spend tons and tons of time on it, right? And it's still super, super cute. So just hot glue. Just place those all down wherever you want those to go. This is the cutest little pencil sharpener ever. So, so cute. And you could add other things to this other than just bows if you wanted to. Like, since we did have the crayons out earlier, you absolutely, if you wanted to, you could glue some crayons onto this, right? Or you could cut your crayons into little short sections and line them all up around the edges of this if you didn't want to do like the crayon wreath like we talked about. Jane says, could you put the apple on the frame? Yes. I already glued it down though, but yeah. Oh, Wanda says, I wish I was Mrs. Klein. Right? Is it not super cute? And I feel like, you know, it's quick and easy, but so cute. And I know that right now the teachers have such an crazy job going on right now that anything like this is definitely going to touch them and make them feel appreciated for sure. So this is what we've got. And I know if I had an extra pack of the pencil case or pencil box buttons, I could have really gone to town with this and added even more buttons to this. So I definitely would go the extra when it comes to finishing this one off. And I really would love to see this in the middle of a wreath, whether it be colored pencils or whether it just be a beautiful wreath made out of fabric, right? It could be a really gorgeous thing that they could put on their classroom door if they didn't want to just sit this. Since we left that kickstand on there, then you can just sit it up, right? They can sit it on their desk and there it is, it's ready to go. Or they can hang it up on the wall, either way. So super cute, super cute. All right, so the second project, since this one was a little bit shorter than I had originally anticipated, I thought this would be a cool one to kind of talk about too. So speaking of teachers and nameplates and things of that nature, right? Inside your Scrabble set, if you grab yourself a Scrabble set, either online or, you know, from a thrift store, they have these guys. Remember, this is where you sit up or you set your letters up so that you can play this Scrabble game. Well, it's also a really cool nameplate for a teacher. So let's just pretend for a second that we know a Mrs. Newton, right? Or Mr. Newton, and we can dress this up the exact same way. So we can glue all of our letters down, right? We can put all of the letters on. Let's just do that instead of talking about it, shall we? So just like with any other surface, I just use a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to permanently affix these letters here. And let's pretend like Mrs. Newton is our school nurse, right? She's not just a teacher, she's our school nurse. And so we can take our Dress It Up buttons that are Doc McStuffins and maybe add some of these to this, or you could use some more of the pencil box, right? And add those to this if she is a teacher. But then you can also, like I mentioned, just personalize this. Maybe Miss Newton is an English teacher, but she loves bird watching. There are birds. Maybe she loves bugs. There are fun bug buttons, right? Maybe she likes to sew. There are some great ones, great buttons for that as well. So you really can personalize this to the individual. It doesn't just have to be teacher or nurse related, but I feel like this is a really cute and inexpensive way to make a nameplate for somebody special. So glue all of those in place, right? And then we can take some of our cute little Doc McStuffins, because our Mrs. Newton is our school nurse. All right, so we've got Doc McStuffins herself. We've got her little dragon. I can never remember what his name is. And there's Lammy, and then there is her nurse. And then it comes with some cute little band-aids too. So we can trim some of these off, but there's a Disney button. Dress It Up is a licensed Disney retailer, which means they have special permission from Disney to sell Disney buttons legally. Wanda says Sarah is going to single-handedly cause a run on thrift store Scrabble games. Well, I love them. You can use them in so many different ways. And I don't play Scrabble anymore. Like, I play Scrabble on my phone, so I mean, you know. But you can grab any Disney button that you want. So even if it's not Doc McStuffins, maybe your teacher is a real fan of the Disney villains or a Disney princess. You definitely can do that. So let's see, yes, that's super cute. Let's add Doc right here in the middle. She's gonna need a lot of glue though. I probably should have just left the shank on her, but at the moment I wasn't entirely sure where she was going to go. So we'll make it work. Make it work. She's going to stand right there in the middle. I just want that hot glue on the back to be touching her. So that space that's in there, I'm actually just going to kind of fill that up with glue. That's probably not a professional craft thing to do. But I mean, you know, we're having fun and making it work. I just don't want her to fall over. All right. We'll put our little Lammy out here on the edge because she is so cute. My youngest, when she was younger, she loved Doc McStuffins. So we had Doc McStuffins. We had like a little mobile doctor unit that rolled around, and it had a Lammy, and it was just super, super cute. So this is a very, this is very nostalgic for me. So cute, right? But a school nurse, I feel like the school nurses just do not get enough credit. And I got to tell you right now, the school nurses are doing a crazy job because they are literally taking the temperature of every single teacher, every staff member, every kid, right? And they are working on the front line because if those kids end up being sick, guess where they end up? They end up in the nurse's office. That's the first place they go. So give some love to your school nurses as well as your teachers. They've got really hard jobs this year, and I feel like these are two super cute crafts that are easy and inexpensive and would definitely be appreciated by these people that are working so hard to protect and educate our kiddos, right? So there you go. Quick and easy, but super cute. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I know our projects are always pretty quick, but I like it that way. I like it that way, right? I like to give you something that is executable, right? Crafting doesn't have to be super hard. However, if you do love super intensive crafts, over on DressItUpShop.com, there is a craft gallery where you can see a ton of really in-depth craft projects that take lots of time and are amazing. And Stacy Ackerman is our lead crafter, designer, artist, if you will, for Dress It Up, and she has come up with some really wonderful ways to use your Dress It Up buttons in all kinds of crafts, whether it is paper crafts or home decor or sewing crafts. So she really is amazing. So check that out as well. And there is a section of how-to videos where you're going to find other quick and easy crafts like the ones that we do here on Facebook Live. And so there is a wealth of education and information when it comes to crafts and using your Dress It Up buttons. I think these both turned out really cute. Right? I think they're super cool. So I'm going to grab some beauty shots, some pictures of these so that we can post these online and you guys can refer back to them if you want to. Definitely check out DressItUpShop.com and look at all the amazing buttons that are available and get inspired, right? Get inspired to turn your next craft project into something personalized with your favorite Dress It Up buttons. All right, guys, so I will see you again, same time, same place next week. And if you've got any recommendations or you would like to see a certain craft project or you want to see a certain button in action, please let us know. Drop us a little message and we would be happy to do that for you and put together a fun project. All right, guys, have a wonderful afternoon and I will see you guys again, same time, same place next week. Bye, guys.